I know many people watching have said that these videos have gotten behind, and I have. I've got quite a ways behind. However, I'm working on catching that up. I'm going to drop several each week to try to catch up. Social media is not my primary job. I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a truck driver. Social media is kind of far down the food chain. Now, I did make a commitment to always do these videos when I started trucking in 2019. So I don't want to just skip a bunch of weeks and catch up to date. So what I'm doing instead is I'm going to drop a couple of videos every week until we get this caught up. I think I'm 7-8 weeks behind. So let me get busy and make this happen.
It's time for Six Figure Trucking, period 28. Let's look at my compensation as a W-2 company driver. First, we're going to talk about the logs for the week. I was paid for 1,403 dispatched miles. I had 2,095 logged miles. My utilization this week was 69%. The days in green, I was on home time. My unedited pay statement for period 28 of 2024. This includes all trips from June 30th to July 6th. The first trip started at my home in Shadydale, Georgia, and ended at the Greer, South Carolina terminal. It had a stop in Tifton, Georgia. It paid $414 for 491 miles. The second trip this week started at the Greer, South Carolina terminal and ended at the Fort Recovery, Ohio terminal. It had stops in Fraser, Michigan, Detroit, Michigan, and Maumee, Ohio. It paid $612 for 912 miles. This week, I was also paid $150 for the Independence Day holiday. Empty miles paid $57. Securement paid $60. Holiday pay was $150. Loaded miles paid $809, and stops paid $100. Total earnings for this week was $1,176. We keep hearing that across the industry, drivers are getting less miles and making less money. I'm one that believes in hard numbers rather than anecdotal information. Here's the comparison of my miles and compensation for the last few years. This looks at the compensation through the same week of each year. 28 weeks into the year, my gross income is $56,595. I've driven 72,890 miles. This averages out to $2,021 per week and 2,603 miles per week. Estimating that out over a year, I'm on track to earn $105,105 for 135,368 miles. Through week number 28 of 2024, I've been loaded 91% of the miles, and 12% have been hazmat placarded miles. This is a map of the miles per state year-to-date in which I've driven. This week, Michigan was colored in on the map. Here's the home time that I've taken so far this payroll year. I've been on home time 11 times so far this year, totaling 40 days through the end of period 28. I've also had 14 paid 34-hour resets on the road. I'm not paid hourly, but let's calculate this like an hourly job. For the week, my gross pay was $1,176 for 43 hours of work. If we break that down to a typical hourly job, it could be 40 regular hours and 3 hours of overtime, resulting in an effective pay rate of $28.86 per hour. Year-to-date, I've earned $56,595 for 1,486 hours worked. Out of those hours, 1,103 would be regular time, and 383 would be overtime. If we calculate it weekly with overtime, the effective pay rate is about $33.74 per hour. However, as straight time, it's approximately $38.09 per hour. Taking a look at the if-only truck drivers were paid for every hour in the truck calculation page, 28 weeks went by so far this year, that totals 4,704 hours. I've been on home time 963 of those hours. That works out to 3,741 hours from the pre-trip leaving home to the post-trip returning home. My compensation through week 28 is $56,595. That works out to $15.13 per hour away from home. As always, make sure you're enjoying every day at work.